Worthy ones, you have to separate yourself to get the best out of yourself. What's up, it's Gene, your coach, your motivating impact storyteller. This is Gene's Motivation, and I'm here to help you to believe that you are worthy to be great so you can take responsibility for achieving your greatness. We must separate ourselves to get the best of ourselves. And you probably think to yourself, Gene, what do you mean separate? I am talking about separating yourself from those individuals who do not want to go in the direction that you want to take your life. See, if you want to be successful, if you want to live your dreams, and you're surrounded by people who do not have those same desires, they're not going to help you move forward. Instead, they're going to hold you back. So therefore, you must separate yourself to get the best out of yourself. So the other day I was taking one of my evening walks, and I walked to this guy I hadn't seen in a long time. He walked up to me and said, Gene, man, how you doing? I want to talk to you for a little bit. So we was getting in a conversation, and he said, Gene, you know what? One day I want to own my own apartment complexes. I want to be a real estate agent. I want to have wealth. I want to have my own home. And he was telling me about this great life that he wanted for himself. And then he asked me this question. He said, let me ask you a real question, man, because I know you have experience with this. I have friends around me that I know they're not the best for me, but I have an emotional connection to them. It's hard for me to separate myself from these individuals. You see, the other day, man, I just got out of jail because I was riding in the car with them. One of them had some drugs in the car. I didn't know about it, and I ended up taking a fall because I was the only one who didn't have a record. Now, when I was sitting in that jail, none of them came to bail me out. I had to get some of the money that was in my account and give somebody access so they can bail me out. Now I got these court dates coming up. I got to spend all this money, and it's just such a headache. So he said, I don't want to waste your time, but what do you think I need to do in this situation? And I was just real with him. I said, you got to cut some of these individuals off. But I'm going to tell you how you do so, because I don't want to put you in a situation where you trying to separate yourself and you have this emotional connection. And if you don't do it the right way, you're going to go right back to them, or you may say things to them that may turn them against you, and that may lead to a bad situation. So I say, this is what you're going to have to do, man. I say, first, let me ask you this question. You told me that you want to be a real estate agent. You told me you want to have wealth. You told me that you want to have your own home. So in other words, you're telling me that that is the best that you want for yourself. This is what you want. This is your best self. Am I correct? He said, yeah. I say, well, first of all, let me ask you this. The friends that you're talking to me about, are they worth keeping those relationships if that means you're going to sacrifice what you say is the best of yourself? All these things that you want to accomplish, this person you want to become. And he said, absolutely not. I said, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing I would say is this. Talk to those friends about personal growth. Talk to them about, doing something positive. Talk to them and see if they have an interest. And those individuals that have an interest of growing in their life and they're taking action with you in that direction, those are the individuals that you spend your time with. Now, those individuals that listen to the idea, they think it's weak, they don't want to have nothing to do with it, you spend less time with those individuals. And what will happen over time is those relationships will start to fall off. So if you want to get the best of yourself, you have to separate yourself from those that do not want the best for their own life. You see, this individual was doing the thing that many of us try to do when we're trying to get the best of ourselves. We're trying to figure out how can we separate ourselves from these negative influences. We're trying to figure out how we can get people around us who have vision for their life, who want the best for themselves. And the only way you can do that is you have to separate yourself to get the best of yourself. You have to get those individuals out your life that's toxic. You have to get those individuals out your life that do not want to grow. Because if you do not do so, everything that you dream of will be sacrificed for those toxic relationships. Everything that you dream of will be sacrificed because you weren't willing to separate yourself. So it's very important that you separate yourself to get the best of yourself. And I want to encourage you to take the same steps as that individual I talked to is taking. First of all, ask yourself, is these relationships that I know I don't need around me are worth the cost, the sacrifice of my goals and dreams? And if you say no to that, you need to start putting yourself in a situation to take the next step. Go and talk to those individuals. Find out if any of those individuals also want to grow in their life, and make sure they're also willing to take the actions that you can see that proves they are serious about that. Because the last thing you want is to have somebody in your life that's saying they want to grow, but they don't. Instead, what they're trying to do is stay close to you so they can keep you from growing to reach your full potential. And the second thing you have to do is that those individuals that don't want to grow, that think it's funny, that don't take it seriously, you have to spend less time with those individuals. And if possible, don't spend any time with them at all. Because in order for you to become your best self, you must separate yourself. Because that's the only way you can protect your dreams, you can protect your goals, and you can become the person that you want to be on this earth. If you like this video, I want to ask you to like and share this video. Also, hit that bell so anytime I put out some motivational content, you are alerted. I want you to remember that we are responsible for achieving our greatness. We are the ones that have to bring our dreams to reality. But in order for you to do so, you must separate yourself to get the best out of yourself, because you are worthy to be great.